So when I was in high school, I took all the honors classes, all the AP classes, and all the college and the classroom credits. When you're 6 classes deep in homework, including having to practice on oboe, you get a little bogged down. For my first 2 years of high school, I tried to do all of the work that was assigned to me, and it was ridiculous. I had so much homework that my life was to come home, decompress and have a snack for 30 minutes, and then work until dinner, and then until 9 p.m. when I would get ready for bed. That's freaking insane, and completely unnecessary as well. By junior year, I'd had enough, and I started min-maxing my homework schedule. By the end of senior year, I was doing under an hour of homework at home most nights, with the exception of large projects and stuff. So today, I'm going to give a comprehensive guide on how to skip and reallocate your homework as best as possible while maintaining a good grade in all of your classes. And I would like to note that this only applies to a general American high school class structure with 6 periods, and that my process only guarantees a 3.65 GPA, because that's what I got. You can see by this silver honor cord here behind me. Alright, so the first order of business, what classes to take? Ideally, you would only want 4 classes worth of serious homework, and for most of high school, you need to be taking all 4 core classes, which means you have to take science, English, math, and history. For 2 years at my high school, we needed to take a language class, which means that you'll need to take at least 5 heavy classes for 2 of your years. But otherwise, try and keep that to a minimum. So if you've shaved your class schedule down to like 4 core classes in band and weightlifting or something, you'll be in a good spot. Since band and weightlifting don't really give you homework, you just have to practice the current piece in band throughout the course of a month, so you can place that time whenever you're lightest on homework. For your core classes though, you've got to cut down on your workload, and that brings me to part 2, what homework you can skip. I'm going to do this class by class. Science. Your science homework is most likely comprised of reading a textbook, filling out some sort of packet that follows along with the book and or the class lectures, and doing occasional experiments or research projects at home. You can't get out of the research projects. Those will have to be reallocated somehow, but you can probably get away with cutting down on the textbook readings. In my case, I never had to read the textbook because it was the same content we were going over in the lectures, but if you need to get some more information from the textbook, there are a few ways of minimizing your reading time. You can obviously skip over anything you already know, you can search for the bolded vocabulary words and just copy them down into your notes, which will take you a long way, or you can try and find somebody else's notes online through studocu.com and the like. Ideally, you won't be reading from the textbook very much at all, and you can use combinations of these methods to bring your reading time down to under 10 minutes a day. Most of the rest of these science classes, in my case at least, ended up being lectures and experiments. You do the experiments and lectures in class, and then you take notes and whatever. The only thing that's really stopping you from skipping almost all of the homework in this class is a teacher who collects notebooks at the end of units. If you're unfortunate enough to come across a teacher who does this, you're going to have to put a lot more time into BSing your notes. But don't worry, I'll explain how to get around pretty much all necessary homework time later on in this video. Math. Most math at my high school followed the same format. You go in, you turn in the previous night's homework, you learn a new topic, and you get tonight's homework. It's a clear, telegraphed, and easy to handle structure. In math classes, you're going to be mostly relying on your test scores to carry your grade, so you do need to be learning the topics. If you're able to grasp the topics during the lectures in class, you're golden. All you need to do now is field the homework you're given. If you can't get the concepts that easily, you'll need to spend the exact amount of time necessary outside of class to get a grip on how to do the problems, and you can do that by asking friends or by doing the homework. And this segment is where I'm going to talk about copying homework. I, personally, am all for copying homework. It is the backbone of this practice, and you can't shy away from it if you want to get around your homework. That does not mean, however, that I support cheating. With cheating, you can get around the rest of your work and get good grades while not learning anything. That is not the goal here. I am trying to learn the topics and to do as little homework as possible. Don't cheat, kids. It's dishonest, it seriously cripples your learning, and in many cases, it's illegal. So that brings us back to math. I'm telling you to copy your homework from other people. One of the best methods is to find time with your friends and get like 6 people sitting at a table whom you can divvy up the homework across. Maybe everyone does a single problem in each topic you learn, so you all get a little practice in different areas. Then you need to study as much as necessary before tests, and you're good on the math front. English. English is an easier one too, because for me, English was just essays and readings. In my classes, we would read a book, then write essays about it during class time, and then have a few other lectures on vocabulary and stuff. So the main part you need to skip is the reading. I have not sat down and read an assigned book since freshman year, and here's how. Most of the books you read in English will be old books that are now in the Creative Commons, so you'll be able to find audiobooks of them on YouTube for free. For 3 years, I did my reading by turning on audiobooks as I fell asleep at night. Heart of Darkness? Turn it on and lay down, it's like melatonin. The next day, read the Spark notes for the section you listened to and find the point where you stop remembering the plot and start there next time. The Spark notes part also lets you consolidate the content you learned the previous night, so don't forget to do it. This does require you to be neurotypical, however, so I'm sorry if you've got ADD or ADHD. One solution might be to do what I currently do with my psych textbook and play Minecraft with the audio on in the background. It keeps your brain active in the background so you can focus better. And now the final subject to go over, history. History is easy. Find the subjects you need to know, skim the book or the Wikipedia page, and then write notes on a shared Google document with 5 or 6 other classmates. Study with that document before tests come up and get an A. Simple. By this point, you've probably been able to cut down or seriously reduce the amount of active homework time on your hands, but there is always some homework left over that you're going to have to do one way or another. Here's how you do that. Reallocation. So the main goal here is to get as much of this work out of your free time as possible. I prefer to do this by inserting it into found time throughout the school day. If you have a 30-minute free period in between classes 2 and 3 like we did, you can use that for your most cerebral work that has to be done as a large chunk. I would eat my lunch a little faster than I normally eat, and then I'd spend the second half of the lunch period doing work. Classes with a really simple lecture time, like science, where you just need to listen halfway and occasionally write down a note in a packet or whatever, are great candidates for doing a few math problems. Before each class gets rolling, there's always a 3 or 4 minute period to do a few math problems or French translations as well. In case you have unfinished science homework that's due next period, you can just ignore your math teacher and ask a friend or Khan Academy how to graph ellipses later. It's all about finding a balance and prioritizing work based on when it's due and how much it affects your grade. Again, as long as you get a B and above, you're in a pretty good spot, because easy classes like PE and electives are going to pad your GPA and bring it up quite a bit. Just remember that not all homework is necessary, and that most of what is necessary can be done throughout the school day in various bits of free time throughout. If you stick to the plan, you'll be able to get almost all of your homework done before you even get home, and though your time at school will be a little bit hectic, you'll feel way better about unwinding with some Warzone when you get out. Thanks for watching.